Alex's ship groaned as it weaved through the dense asteroid field. Outside, jagged rocks floated silently, catching the dim light of a distant star. Every movement of the ship was tense, every turn calculated. Alex had flown through asteroid belts before, but this one felt different. There was a message on his comm, a distress call, and he could not ignore it. Please. Anyone. Help us, the voice had said. It was faint, broken, and full of fear. He recognized it immediately as the signal of someone in extreme danger. Most pilots would have hesitated, most would have waited for backup. But Alex was not most pilots. He tightened his grip on the controls and whispered to himself, "Hang on, I'm coming." The source of the distress was a small, isolated research station orbiting a dying asteroid. The station had been studying rare minerals, and now its crew was trapped inside after a sudden structural collapse. Reports had come in that one survivor remained in a high-risk area of the station, an alien woman named Lyra. Alex's ship nudged past a spinning rock. His sensors picked up the faint energy signature inside the station. The structure was unstable, and one wrong move could send debris crushing the hull. But Alex had always been known for taking risks and for making them count. He docked carefully, connecting his ship to the station's emergency port. Inside, the air smelled of dust and ozone. Sparks flew from broken panels, and the walls shook slightly. Lyra was somewhere beyond the wreckage, and the station's emergency lights barely illuminated the corridors. "Hello? Are you there?" Alex called, his voice steady despite the danger. A soft, trembling sound answered him. It was human-like, but there was a strange melody in her voice that marked her as not human. Alex followed it, dodging falling beams and broken machinery. Then he saw her. Lyra was crouched behind a crumpled support beam. Her skin shimmered faintly, a natural glow from her alien physiology. Her eyes, large and golden, widened in fear as she saw Alex. "Don't be afraid," he said calmly. "I'm here to help you. We need to get out now." Lyra hesitated. Her species had a different way of showing trust, Alex realized. But time was short. Debris shifted above her, and a beam began to fall. Without thinking, Alex lunged forward. He grabbed her arm and pulled her to safety. In her panic, Lyra reacted instinctively. She bit Alex's forearm, not hard but enough to draw blood. Alex froze for a moment, stunned. What was that?" he asked, looking at the small mark on his arm. Lyra stepped back, her ears flattening slightly. I had to do it. It's the only way I could ensure you wouldn't leave me behind. It is my bond," she said, her voice trembling. "It marks you as my mate." Alex blinked. "Mate? You just bit me?" "Yes," she said, her tone defensive. "In my culture, this act is binding under our laws. Whoever I bite in this way becomes my mate legally and spiritually. You are now bound to me." Alex took a step back, processing the words. This was not just a culture shock, it was a legal shock. Galactic law recognized this bond even across species. He had read about it, of course, in old files and reports, but he had never imagined he would experience it firsthand. "Wait, so I'm... what? Stuck with you now?" he asked, trying to keep his voice light, though his heart was racing. Lyra nodded, looking nervous. "Yes, it is not reversible. At least, not easily. It is serious." Alex looked at her again. She was small and fragile compared to the heavy-duty humans he was used to dealing with, but there was an intensity in her eyes that made him respect her instantly. Despite the bite, despite the strange law, he could not leave her here alone. "All right," he said finally, forcing a grin. "I guess I'm your mate now. Let's get out of this wreck before it collapses completely." Lyra blinked at him, clearly surprised by his acceptance. You are not angry?" "I don't get angry easily," Alex replied. "Besides, we have more pressing problems." Together they moved through the wreckage. Alex helped her, over jagged metal and broken floors. Lyra's alien physiology allowed her to climb quickly, But the station's dangers were universal. Every step required attention, and Alex guided her with precise care. They reached the escape pod bay. One pod remained intact, glowing faintly with emergency lights. Lyra hesitated at the entrance. "Are you sure we can leave? The laws of my people, they might require verification of the bond first." Alex shrugged. "We can worry about politics later. Right now, staying here is not an option. You either trust me or we both get trapped. I vote trust." Lyra hesitated for a moment, then nodded. She entered the pod and Alex followed. He activated the launch sequence. The pod shuddered as it disengaged from the station, then rocketed away. Behind them, the station began to crumble. Inside the pod, Lyra finally relaxed, leaning back against the wall. Alex glanced at her. "You're all right. See? Nothing to worry about." She gave a small, almost shy smile. "You are very different from humans I have studied. Most would have abandoned me," Alex chuckled. "Guess I'm not most humans." There was a quiet moment between them. The tension of the rescue had passed, but the weight of what had happened lingered. Lyra's bite, her legal claim, the unusual circumstances, they all made this situation more complicated than either of them had expected. "Tell me," Alex said finally, "how serious is this bond? Are we talking formal marriage serious or something else?" Lyra's eyes widened. "It is serious. In my culture, a mate is a lifelong partner. The bond is recognized by my people, by galactic law, and by tradition. It is not a choice to be taken lightly." Alex took a deep breath. "Well, I guess I better learn your culture fast then." She tilted her head, curious. "You accept it?" "I accept survival first," he said with a grin. "The rest we can figure out, step by step." Outside the pod, the destroyed station fell into the shadow of the asteroid, tiny pieces scattering into space. Inside, Alex and Lyra floated in silence for a moment, their small craft drifting toward a nearby inhabited station. Lyra finally spoke. "I should warn you. Some of my people might not accept you. They value purity of our tradition. A human as a mate, it is unusual." Alex shrugged. "Then we'll prove them wrong. Or at least we'll survive long enough to annoy them a little." Lyra blinked at his humor, and for the first time, a faint laugh escaped her. It was a musical sound unlike anything Alex had heard before. It made him smile. The pod entered the gravity field of a bustling space station. Ships of all sizes passed by, and alien life forms of every shape and color moved along corridors, docks, and walkways. Alex guided the pod carefully to a landing bay. As they exited, Alex felt the weight of what was to come. Galactic law, Lyra's people, the unspoken expectations, they were all waiting for him. But for now, he focused on the immediate, keeping Lyra safe and learning to navigate the strange, new bond that connected them. Lyra walked beside him, her golden eyes scanning the surroundings with quiet curiosity. She spoke softly. You are brave. Few humans would risk their life for someone like me." Alex grinned. "I told you, I'm not like most humans." She smiled faintly, and he could see a mix of relief and apprehension in her expression. The bond had been formed in an instant, through fear, instinct, and law. But whether it would become something more, only time would tell. The bustling station loomed ahead, full of life, politics, and rules. Alex and Lyra were stepping into a galaxy that would judge, test, and watch them. But together, they had survived a deadly station collapse. Together, they had formed a bond stronger than either law or culture. And together, they were about to discover just how far that bond could take them. Alex guided the small pod through the crowded landing bay of Orion Station, a hub of trade and diplomacy at the edge of human-explored space. Ships of all shapes and sizes moved in every direction, and aliens of every species walked the corridors, some tall and thin, some short and squat, others covered in scales or feathers. The station was alive with movement and chatter. Lyra floated beside him, her glowing skin faintly illuminating the pod's interior. She looked around, her eyes wide with curiosity and caution. This place, it is very large. Many species. Altogether. Alex smiled. Welcome to the crossroads of the galaxy. Keep close. Some people here don't like surprises, and others might be curious in ways you don't expect. Lyra tilted her head. Curious? You'll see, Alex said lightly. First, we need to register our bond. Lyra's eyes widened. Yes, galactic law requires verification. Otherwise, complications may arise. Some may not accept it without proper registration. Alex sighed. Bureaucracy never ends, even in space. The two made their way through crowded corridors to the Interstellar Registry, a large building that towered over the rest of the station. Its walls were sleek and polished, and holographic signs floated above the entrances, directing visitors in multiple languages. Guards in uniforms of shimmering blue and silver watched all entrances, their sensors scanning for threats. Inside, the atmosphere was quiet, controlled, and precise. Alex and Lyra approached the verification desk, where a tall alien with pale, green skin and multiple eyes looked at them with mild suspicion. Identify yourselves, the alien said in a firm voice. Purpose of visit? Alex nodded. I'm Alex Mercer, human pilot. This is Lyra, a member of the Saurian species. She bit me while I was rescuing her. We need to formally register the bond under galactic law. The alien's multiple eyes blinked rapidly as if processing the unusual information. You claim a bond through the Saurian legal bite ritual? And you are human? Yes, Alex said, keeping his tone calm. We need verification. The alien leaned back, clearly intrigued. This is unprecedented. Humans have rarely been bonded to Saurians. Follow me. Verification will take time. Alex gestured for Lyra to follow, and they were led into a quiet chamber. The room was round, with glowing panels on the walls and a single table in the center. Holographic displays floated above it, showing the details of known species and their customs. Lyra stepped forward. I must explain the bite and its meaning. It is an ancient tradition of my people. It forms a bond of trust, partnership, and commitment. Legally, it cannot be broken easily. It is recognized in interstellar courts. Alex added, She panicked during the rescue. She didn't have a choice. But yes, it happened. That's why we are here. The alien verification officer studied them. We will record your statements. Witnesses may be required. Evidence of the rescue and the bite. This will take several hours. Do you consent to full documentation? Alex nodded. We consent. As the verification process began, Alex watched Lyra closely. She seemed tense, as if every move of the officer might be judged. Alex put a gentle hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, I've got your back. She blinked at him. You are not afraid of what they may say? I've faced worse than bureaucrats, Alex said with a grin. Besides, you're worth it. The officer scanned both of them, holographic lights tracing the marks of Lyra's bite and recording their biometrics. The process was long and meticulous. Questions came in multiple languages, some asking about consent, some about cultural significance, some about potential conflicts with human law. Lyra answered carefully, explaining every detail of her tradition, while Alex supported her answers and provided context from his human perspective. Slowly, the officer's expression changed from suspicion to respect. Very well, the officer finally said. The bond appears genuine. Witnesses from your rescue can be called, but the preliminary assessment recognizes the bond. It will be officially registered pending minor confirmation. You may leave the chamber. Lyra exhaled, relief visible in her posture. It is recognized. At least, for now. Alex nodded. See? That wasn't so bad. Despite the relief, the moment they left the verification chamber, Alex felt the weight of the attention they were receiving. Alien guards, merchants, and travelers alike glanced at them, some whispering, some pointing. Lyra noticed it too. They stare, she said softly. Some may question your place as my mate. Alex chuckled lightly. Let them stare. We've survived worse. And besides, we've got work to do. I don't plan to run from attention. Lyra looked at him, admiration mixing with her caution. You are very different from most humans I have met. Most would not stand by me. Alex shrugged. Guess I'm not most humans. They walked through the station, passing shops selling alien foods, advanced technology, and rare artifacts. Alex felt a strange pride as he watched Lyra's curiosity grow. She asked questions about everything, from human tools to the strange floating displays. He answered as best he could, realizing that this shared experience was building trust between them beyond the bite. But not everyone was friendly. In a quieter corridor, a group of Sarian elders approached them. Their eyes were sharp, their expressions skeptical. Lyra, one of them said, his voice firm. You claim a bond with this human. Do you not understand the risk? Our traditions do not often include outsiders. Lyra stood tall, though her hands trembled slightly. I understand, but he saved me. He accepted the bond. That is what matters. The elder studied Alex, his gaze sharp and critical. And you, human, do you understand the responsibilities of such a bond? You are now part of our law and tradition. Missteps could have consequences. Alex met the elder's gaze steadily. I understand. I won't fail her, and I won't fail your law either. The elder's expression softened slightly, though his eyes remained cautious. Time will tell. As they moved away, Lyra whispered, You impressed them. Few humans could speak with such certainty. Alex smiled. All part of the job. And besides, I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Not now, not ever. Their path led them to a public lounge, where travelers of all species rested between journeys. Alex and Lyra found a small table and sat down. The hum of conversation and activity surrounded them, a reminder that life continued, even after danger. You know, Lyra said quietly. I feared the bite would be a burden to you. I did not expect you to accept it so readily. Alex leaned back, thinking. I've learned a lot in my time. One thing I know for sure. Loyalty and trust are more valuable than anything else in the galaxy, and you earned both in that moment. Lyra looked at him, a faint blush coloring her glowing cheeks. I think we may work well together. Alex smiled. I think we already are. Just then, a station announcement blared. Attention, all travelers. Be advised, increased security alerts due to recent pirate activity in nearby sectors. All ships are advised to remain docked until further notice. Alex's eyes narrowed. Great. Just when we're trying to settle things, pirates decide to stir trouble. Lyra looked concerned. Pirates? Here? They could harm many. Alex nodded. Exactly. We'll need to stay alert, but don't worry. We can handle it. Together. As the lounge continued to buzz with life, Alex realized that this was only the beginning. The galaxy was watching them. Galactic law had recognized their bond, but the challenges were far from over. They would face scrutiny, danger, and tests of loyalty. But for the first time, Alex felt that he and Lyra could meet anything. Together. Lyra looked at him, a small smile on her face. You truly are different. I think I may trust you more than I thought possible. Alex grinned. Good. That's the start. Now let's see what the galaxy throws at us next. And as they sat there, in the heart of Orion Station, surrounded by life, technology, and endless possibility, they both knew one thing. Survival was just the beginning. Their bond, forged in danger and sealed by law, would take them into adventures none of them could have imagined. The hum of Orion Station had become familiar to Alex and Lyra. They had spent the last few days navigating its crowded corridors, attending verification meetings, and learning more about each other. For Alex, it was a mix of frustration and fascination. He had never dealt with alien bureaucracy so thoroughly, and yet he couldn't deny that watching Lyra adapt to human behavior, and he to hers, was intriguing. Lyra, for her part, found Alex both perplexing and comforting. Humans were loud, impulsive, and unpredictable, yet he had a steadiness she had rarely seen, and a willingness to put himself at risk for her even after the bite. She found herself thinking about him in ways she hadn't expected. "Alex," she said one morning, as they walked along a wide promenade lined with shops and market stalls, I do not fully understand humans. You act without fear sometimes. It is strange." Alex grinned. "Strange can be good. Keeps life interesting." Lyra looked at him thoughtfully. "Interesting, yes, but dangerous perhaps." "Maybe," he admitted. "But so far it's worked out pretty well, hasn't it?" Lyra hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, for now, yes." They continued walking, and Alex noticed that their path often drew attention. Aliens whispered, and a few humans glanced curiously at the glowing Sarian beside him. Some of the whispers were admiration, others were skepticism. Alex didn't care much. He had learned that the galaxy had opinions about nearly everything, and the best way to survive was to focus on what mattered. That evening, they returned to their small rented quarters on the station. Lyra was studying a datapad filled with human customs and laws, trying to understand how her bonding ritual could exist within human society. Alex sat nearby, repairing a minor damage to his flight gear. "Do humans really ignore danger as easily as you seem to?" Lyra asked suddenly. Glancing at him, Alex chuckled. "Depends on the human, but most are too busy surviving or trying to make a name for themselves to worry about danger too much." Lyra tilted her head. "And yet, you risked yourself for me. That is not normal for humans." Alex shrugged. "I've always believed that the right thing is worth the risk. Besides, I couldn't leave you behind." Lyra studied him quietly, her golden eyes softening. I think I understand more of humans now. Perhaps they are not as fragile as I thought." Their quiet moment was interrupted by a station-wide alert. Red lights flashed as a holographic warning appeared above the promenade. "Attention, all personnel. Pirate activity detected in nearby sectors. All ships are advised to remain docked. Security teams are on alert." Alex's eyes narrowed. "Looks like our quiet time is over." Lyra's expression tensed. "Pirates. They are dangerous. Many could be harmed." Alex stood. "Then we better make sure no one gets hurt. And that includes us." They hurried to the docking bay, where ships were already preparing for potential emergency maneuvers. Alex's instincts kicked in, scanning for threats, while Lyra's natural reflexes and alien senses gave her an edge in detecting danger before it arrived. "Do you always act this fast?" Lyra asked, slightly breathless. Alex grinned. "When lives are at stake, yes, reaction time is everything." Just then, a smaller transport ship from the station sent out a distress signal. Pirates had boarded it, and the crew was trapped inside. Alex and Lyra exchanged a glance. This would be their first real test together since the bond. "Ready?" Alex asked. Lyra nodded. "I trust you. Let us go." They boarded Alex's ship and launched into space. The asteroid field nearby made navigation tricky, but Alex's piloting skills were unmatched. Lyra leaned over the controls, offering guidance based on her own species' understanding of spatial movement. Together, they maneuvered toward the pirate-occupied ship. "Stay close," Alex said. "I need you on alert for any surprises." Lyra's glowing skin brightened slightly, a sign of heightened focus. "I am ready." As they approached, they saw the pirates clearly, heavily armed, reckless, and focused on looting the transport. Alex's ship dodged laser fire, returning, some shots to disable weapons on the enemy vessel without causing fatalities. Lyra's reflexes allowed her to anticipate the trajectory of incoming attacks, guiding Alex through narrow gaps in the debris. "Almost there," Alex shouted. "We can get them out if we time this right." Lyra extended her hands toward the controls, syncing with the ship's systems. Her alien physiology allowed her to make calculations faster than any human computer. Alex marveled at her ability, even as he piloted the ship with precision. They reached the transport just as pirates prepared to escape. Alex fired a disabling shot that locked the pirates' engines, while Lyra remotely accessed the ship's internal doors to free the trapped crew. The crew members, startled but unharmed, scrambled out, and Alex guided them back to safety. Once the immediate danger passed, Lyra exhaled sharply. We succeeded. All are safe." Alex clapped her on the shoulder. "Not bad for a first-team effort, huh?" She looked at him, a faint smile appearing. You worked with me. Without doubt. That is unusual." Alex shrugged. "Like I said, I've faced worse. And besides, I'm not leaving you behind again." The crew they saved were full of gratitude, and news of their teamwork spread quickly across the station. Aliens and humans alike whispered about the unusual bond between the glowing Sarian and the human pilot. Some admired it, others questioned it, but Alex and Lyra didn't care. They had proven something important. Together, they were stronger. Later, in their quarters, Lyra looked at Alex thoughtfully. I did not expect humans to act so loyally. Many of my people would hesitate, even refuse." Alex smiled. "Some humans are like that, but I've learned that trust and loyalty aren't species-specific. They're personal choices, and I chose to trust you." Lyra's eyes softened, and for the first time she seemed to relax completely. I think I may like this bond more than I expected." Alex raised an eyebrow. "You like it, even after biting me?" She blushed faintly, a golden hue spreading across her cheeks. "Yes, it is. Strange, but comforting." Alex chuckled. "Strange and comforting. I like the sound of that." Over the next few days, they trained together, practicing emergency maneuvers, learning each other's reflexes and adapting to their unusual partnership. Lyra's alien agility and instincts complemented Alex's human strategy and intuition. They were becoming a team, and both realized that the bond, the bite, the law, and their shared experience was creating something more than legal recognition. But it wasn't just training. Alex noticed small moments that revealed Lyra's personality, her curiosity, her humor, and her willingness to push herself despite fear. Lyra, in turn, began to see the depth of Alex's character, his courage, his quick thinking, and his compassion. "You know," Lyra said one evening, watching the stars from the observation deck, "humans often seem reckless. But you are different. You think, you plan, yet you act when needed." Alex smiled, leaning on the railing beside her. "And you are not what I expected either. I thought aliens were all formal and cautious. You're surprising." Lyra laughed softly, the sound musical and light. "I suppose we surprise each other. That is good." Alex nodded. "It is. And it's going to be even better when we face the galaxy together." Just then a new alert flashed across the station's communication grid. A dangerous anomaly was detected near the edge of their explored space, a massive energy storm that threatened several nearby colonies. Alex and Lyra exchanged a look. This would be their next challenge. Lyra's voice was calm but determined. "We must prepare. Others will need help." Alex grinned. "Then it looks like our adventure is just getting started." As the station's lights glimmered around them, they stood side by side, ready for whatever the galaxy would throw at them next. Their bond, forged in danger and strengthened by trust, was more than legal recognition now. It was a partnership, and soon it would be tested in ways neither of them could yet imagine. The energy storm near the edge of explored space was unlike anything Alex and Lyra had ever faced. Sensors on Orion Station showed massive fluctuations in gravitational waves, electrical discharges stretching for hundreds of kilometers, and pockets of unstable spacetime that could destroy ships in an instant. Colonies in the path of the storm sent frantic distress signals. Lives were at risk. Alex studied the readings carefully. "This is bad," he said, running a hand through his hair. "Really bad. Most ships won't survive this." Lyra leaned over his shoulder, her glowing skin dimly brightening as she focused. We can help them. Together. But it will be dangerous. Many may not survive." Alex nodded. "Dangerous is my specialty, and I'm not going in alone. You coming?" Lyra's eyes met his. "Yes, I trust you. Always." They prepared their ship, loading it with rescue equipment, energy shields, and emergency supplies. Every move was precise, every calculation critical. The storm's unpredictable energy made navigation nearly impossible. Even a small misstep could tear the ship apart. As they launched, the station's automated warning systems blared. "Caution. High energy fields detected. Adjust trajectory immediately." Alex maneuvered expertly, weaving between floating debris and sudden energy surges. Lyra monitored the shields and energy readings, adjusting the ship's systems with her species' natural aptitude for spatial awareness. Together, they were a perfect team. Their first challenge appeared quickly. A small colony ship caught in a magnetic vortex, spinning out of control. Alex's hands moved over the controls, steady and confident. "Hold on, Lyra. We're going in." Lyra's glowing hands touched the ship's panels. "I will guide you. Focus on the vortex trajectory." They reached the spinning colony ship just in time. Using a combination of Alex's piloting and Lyra's guidance, they matched its rotation and secured a docking line. The crew inside cheered, but Alex had no time to relax. The storm's energy pulses were growing stronger, threatening to tear them apart. "Pull them aboard," he said. Lyra worked quickly, opening the airlock and guiding the colonists into their ship. Her calm presence reassured the frightened humans and aliens alike. Alex noticed how natural she was in crisis situations, her instincts perfect for life or death moments. Once the colony ship was secured, Alex set course for another distress signal. This time it came from a research outpost trapped on a floating asteroid. The energy storm had fractured the asteroid and large chunks were spinning dangerously close to the outpost. "We have to be fast," Alex said. "If we hesitate, they'll be crushed." Lyra nodded. "I can predict the movement of the rocks. Follow my guidance." Alex held his breath as he maneuvered the ship through the chaotic debris. Lyra's glowing hands moved over the console, synchronizing the ship's shields and engines with the asteroid's unpredictable trajectory. They reached the outpost just as a massive chunk of rock broke free and hurtled toward it. "Now!" Lyra shouted. Alex fired the ship's tractor beam, holding the outpost steady, while Lyra guided the occupants to safety. The outpost's crew looked at them in awe as they boarded. Alex gave Lyra a thumbs up. "You were amazing," he said. Lyra's golden eyes softened. "We are a team. You trust me. That helps me act." Alex smiled. "And you helped me act too. Couldn't have done it without you." The storm was far from over. Energy surges struck closer and closer, making navigation deadly. They received a new signal, an urgent message from Lyra's homeworld. Some of her species were watching their actions closely. They questioned the validity of a human bonded to a Saurian. "They doubt us," Lyra said quietly, her voice tense. "Some believe you are unworthy, that the bond is a mistake." Alex reached out and placed his hand on hers. "Doesn't matter what they think. I'm here with you. We prove them wrong by what we do, not what they say." Lyra's glow brightened, slightly, her resolve strengthening. "Yes, we'll show them. Together." Their final challenge was the most dangerous yet. A massive energy surge had trapped a cargo ship inside a shifting energy field. The ship's hull was under strain, and the crew inside was panicking. The field was growing stronger with each passing second. Alex's voice was steady. Lyra, we can do this. I'll handle the piloting. You guide the shields. Lyra nodded. I will protect them. Focus on your movements, trust me. The ship plunged into the unstable field. Energy arcs danced across the hull, and warning alarms screamed in the cockpit. Lyra's hands moved across the controls with precision, stabilizing the shields and redirecting energy away from vulnerable points. Alex's piloting was equally precise, dodging bursts of energy that could have torn the ship apart. They reached the cargo ship just as a massive surge struck, threatening to crush it. Alex fired the tractor beams while Lyra maintained the shields. The crew inside clung to railings, wide-eyed and trembling. Hold steady, Alex shouted. Lyra's hands glowed brightly as she synchronized the shields to the storm's rhythm. Alex carefully guided the ship out of the field, and the cargo crew cheered as they were saved. Once clear, Alex exhaled heavily. We made it. Lyra looked at him, her eyes shining. We survived, together, and we helped many. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of pride. Not just survived. We showed them what we can do together. That's the bond. Stronger than law, stronger than fear. The rescued crews expressed endless gratitude, spreading word of their bravery. The Saurian elders who had doubted the human began to reconsider. Lyra's people sent messages acknowledging Alex's courage and commitment. You? They see now, Lyra said softly. You are accepted, perhaps more than accepted, respected. Alex laughed lightly. Guess that bite worked in my favor after all. Lyra smiled faintly, a warm glow in her cheeks. Yes, but more than the bite. It is your actions. You proved yourself. Alex placed a hand gently on hers. And we proved it together. That's what matters. Not laws or traditions, what we do side by side. Lyra's eyes softened. Yes, together. As the storm finally dissipated, they set a course back for Orion Station. The galaxy had tested their bond and they had emerged stronger, their partnership unshakable. They had faced danger, saved lives, and shown that trust and loyalty could transcend species and tradition. In the quiet of the cockpit, Alex looked at Lyra. You know, I didn't expect all this when I first rescued you. Lyra tilted her, head curious. You mean the bond, the law, the adventures? Alex nodded. Yeah, but I wouldn't change a thing. We've done good work, and I like having you with me. Lyra's golden eyes met his, filled with something unspoken but deeply understood. And I am glad you are mine. That you accepted me, Alex smiled. I didn't just accept you, I trust you completely. That's more important than anything the law says. Lyra's glow brightened, a soft warmth filling the cockpit. Then, our bond is stronger than law, stronger than fear, stronger than anything. Alex reached over and squeezed her hand. Exactly. And we're just getting started. As Orion Station came into view, lights twinkling in the distance, Alex and Lyra knew the galaxy would continue to challenge them. But they had passed the greatest test yet, the test of trust, courage, and partnership. Together, they were unstoppable. Orion Station shimmered under the glow of distant stars as Alex and Lyra returned from the storm zone. The station's automated systems welcomed their ship, guiding it into a secure docking bay. Both of them were tired, their bodies still recovering. From the intense effort, yet a sense of satisfaction and pride filled the air. They had faced the storm, saved lives, and proven that their bond was more than just a law or tradition. It was real. Lyra looked out of the cockpit window at the EAO, bustling station. We did well. Many were saved, and perhaps some doubted us, but we showed them. Alex smiled. We did more than show them. We proved it, and not just to them, to ourselves. They stepped out of the ship into the docking bay, where curious onlookers had already gathered. Some whispered, some stared, and a few approached to congratulate them. Alex noticed a group of Saurian elders waiting near the registry. Their expressions were unreadable, a mix of scrutiny and, perhaps, approval. One of the elders stepped forward. "Lyra, human, your actions during the storm have proven your bond is genuine. Not just law, but trust, courage, and partnership. You have earned respect." Lyra's golden eyes softened. "Thank you. It was our effort together, not just mine alone." Alex inclined his head respectfully. "I couldn't have done it without her, and she couldn't have done it without me. That's what it means to be bonded." The elder nodded slowly. "Then the bond is honored. Official recognition will follow, and perhaps a new understanding for our people. We may have underestimated humans before." Lyra glanced at Alex, a faint smile on her lips. They respect you. Perhaps they respect us both now." Alex grinned. "Not bad for a first team up, and I think we just made history." The station's registry officials formally recorded their bond. The holographic documents glowed with official seals, legal codes, and the signatures of representatives from multiple species. The recognition was complete. Alex and Lyra were officially, legally, and culturally bonded. Lyra reached out and placed her hand on Alex's arm. "It is real. Finally." Alex squeezed her hand gently. "It was always real. The law just caught up with reality." With the formalities complete, they stepped outside the registry. The station was alive with life: traders, travelers, diplomats, and curious onlookers. News of their deeds and the unusual human-Saurian bond had spread quickly. Some looked with admiration, others with skepticism, but none could deny that Alex and Lyra had faced the storm together and emerged victorious. "We have made an impression," Lyra said softly. Alex chuckled. "Yeah, and now we have to figure out what to do next. We're not done yet. There's a whole galaxy out there, and apparently it's full of storms, pirates, and people who need saving." Lyra's glow brightened slightly, a sign of her growing confidence. "I will follow you. Together, we can face anything." Alex smiled, feeling a deep warmth in his chest. "That's the plan. We stick together. Nothing else matters." Over the next few days, they met with representatives from multiple colonies and species. Many expressed gratitude, and some even offered rewards, resources, or future partnerships. Alex and Lyra politely declined most offers, focusing instead on learning more about each other and preparing for future challenges. Lyra had begun to teach Alex about Saurian traditions, customs, and philosophy. He was fascinated by their respect for life, their patience, and their ability to think strategically under pressure. In return, Alex taught her about human ingenuity, improvisation, and the importance of trust and loyalty. Each day strengthened their partnership both professionally and personally. One evening, they found a quiet observation deck overlooking the station. Stars stretched infinitely in every direction, and distant ships glimmered like fireflies. "You know?" Alex said, leaning on the railing. "I never expected my life to change so much after one rescue." Lyra turned to him, her golden eyes reflective. "Neither did I. One moment, I am trapped, afraid, unsure of the world. The next, I am bonded, and I am not alone." Alex smiled. "You're never alone, not as long as I'm around." Lyra's expression softened, and she reached out, gently touching his arm. I feel safe with you. Strong. Together. We are more than law. We are something else." Alex nodded. "Exactly. And we're going to keep growing stronger. Facing the galaxy together, step by step." Their quiet moment was interrupted by a communication alert. The message was from the station's command, another distress signal, this time from a nearby colony threatened by a rogue asteroid cluster. Alex glanced at Lyra. Looks like adventure never stops. Lyra's eyes glowed faintly. Then, we go. Together. No hesitation. As they prepared their ship, Alex checked the systems, and Lyra analyzed the trajectory of the asteroids. They worked seamlessly, a perfect balance of human intuition and Sarian precision. Their bond, tested in the storm, had been proven. Now, it would guide them through every challenge ahead. Before launch, Alex looked at Lyra. Ready for round 2? Lyra smiled faintly. Always, with you, I am ready. They launched into space, leaving Orion Station behind. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of unknown dangers, unexplored worlds, and endless possibilities. For the first time, Alex felt a sense of peace. The galaxy was vast, unpredictable, and often dangerous, but he no longer faced it alone. Lyra sat beside him, her presence comforting and steady. Alex, do you ever fear the unknown? Alex glanced at her, considering the question. I do. But fear is easier when you trust the person beside you, and I trust you. Lyra's glow brightened, a soft warmth in her chest. Then, together, we can overcome anything. As they navigated toward the new mission, Alex reflected on their journey. From a dangerous rescue to the recognition of a legal bond, from surviving the energy storm to earning the respect of Lyra's people, they had grown together. Their bond was no longer just a legal obligation. It was trust, friendship, and a deep, unspoken connection. The galaxy awaited, full of challenges and opportunities. Pirates, storms, and emergencies would come, but Alex and Lyra were ready. Together they could face anything. As they entered hyperspace toward the threatened colony, Alex grinned. The galaxy may have tried to test us, Lyra, but I think we passed with flying colors. Lyra looked at him, her golden eyes filled with quiet determination. Yes, and the tests will come again, but together, we are ready. Alex nodded. Step by step, planet by planet, mission by mission. Together. Lyra reached out, resting her hand over his. Together. And as their ship streaked through the stars, carrying them toward new adventures, Alex and Lyra knew one thing for certain. Their bond, formed in fear and danger, recognized by law, and proven through courage, would guide them through the galaxy. No matter what challenges came, they would face them side by side. The galaxy was vast, unpredictable, and full of surprises. But with trust, courage, and partnership, Alex and Lyra were ready for anything. And this was only the beginning.